Thanks so much. So, because we are very much visual people, we have a lot of slides, but they're all just pictures. So hopefully this all works okay.
I'll do it for you.
Okay.
There we go.
So essentially, one of the things that we definitely learned, like very early on, is that we need to make sure that we're innovating at a faster pace. That, you know, trying to do things at scale, it's going to be a lot of sprinting, it's going to be a lot of testing, it's going to be a lot of adapting, and those are some of the things that you've heard about today. So first of all, we'll, you know, we've kind of, Sam's already kind of given us a little bit of an introduction, but it's funny to like be an editor of a bilingual product when I actually don't speak Spanish. But one of the things that really helps with is the fact that I try to use words that I think are recognizable, hence the duodinamico.
Duodinamico.
Oh, yeah. So, and of course, Sam's already given us a really good introduction. I don't know if you have anything to add?
No, that I am the editor of this bilingual newsletter that I am so blessed to have the opportunity to put together. Thanks to you, Linda.
So Colorado Community Media is the nonprofit affiliate of the National Trust for Local News. So the National Trust for Local News's mission is to make sure that each community needs its stories. It deserves its stories. And so that's what we're trying to do. CCM oversees 25 news products. And so it just makes a real, you know, we have 25 communities that we need to get to. We have 15 reporters. So you can already see that the math there is a little crazy. But so the things that we're doing in order to try and reach that, you know, doing community news at scale is a lot about modernizing. So we definitely, like, we moved the 25 different news sites over to one umbrella site that had 25 different brands in it. So if you're like me and you live up here in Northland, woohoo, and then, but your office is in Inglewood, or you play in Evergreen, then you have a real opportunity to kind of like be able to visit all of those communities. So on our websites. The next thing, of course, is that we are, as Melissa mentioned earlier, we're diversifying our revenue. We're in events. We're looking at different readership revenue projects. And most significantly, we are in the process of launching a press. And so it'll kill me before we get there, but you know, so still that's where we are. Just because we know that not only is this good for us because it gives us an opportunity to have commercial revenue, it is something that is mission driven and it's there to help the Colorado ecosystem continue to move forward. And then finally, it's also driving product innovation. As mentioned, I don't speak Spanish, but I grew up in a very proud Mexican heritage, Mexican family, and I know how important language is, and that language should not be a barrier to getting the news that you deserve. So, with that thought in mind, we launched La Ciudad, and so Rossana will talk about that.
Here we are. Don't you see? Those are the angels. Those are the 2 young journalists that we have been able to hire. Jackie Ramirez. I also have to say that these wonderful young journalists have been also producing content for other media outlets. So we are honored that we can share them with you guys. But they are part of the duodinamico. I want to say that yes, we are blending languages. This is our purpose. We decided to create la mezcla, the mix of English and Spanish right away. Why? Because we really thought that it was super important for us to acknowledge that that is precisely the way, you know, our readers live. We wanted to do it English and Spanish, what some call it Spanglish in our newsletter, to make it easy for everyone, whether they speak one language, both, or switch between them daily. It is a reflection of the real world our readers live in. That's why I am the editor of Spanish and Linda, la jefa, is the managing editor to ensure to keep it balanced. But we're also the bridge, el puente. El puente, we are not the first or the last, hopefully, media platform in Colorado trying to bring Spanish, and we honor those that have done it first and those that will do it, that will continue doing it. Next. But we are unique. We are unique because we act as a bridge. We translate, and yes, we interpret the valuable stories from other media outlets that serve our community. In order to serve our community, we do it on purpose, and because we believe in collaboration, not in competition, because our growing Latino community deserves more attention than it currently gets. And yes, finally, we're standing for language justice, and that's the one I love, justicia lingüística. Why? Because using Spanish, we're making a statement. Our content is for everyone, and we are committed to making sure no one feels left out or unheard in their own communities. And we are open to fresh ideas coming from two young journalists who are bringing fresh blood, sangre fresca. I love saying that, sorry. And they are helping us to bring diversity and also fresh approaches to inclusivity. Thank you so much.
So in terms of what's next for us, it's definitely that one of the things that is really important to us is to meet people where they are. Whether that's through using our platforms, our digital platforms in ways that we haven't, that as a traditional news organization, we just haven't done. And that, means that we're paying a lot more attention to how people, when people are looking at us, when we should be sending out a newsletter. We have 15 newsletters right now. My goal is that we need twice as many. And so the things that I can do in order to make that happen is to make sure that I've got folks who are trained up, understand here's what we're doing and how different it is to especially push things on a digital platform, but to still honor those folks who want their news in print. And then of course that means that we also need to make our news relevant for our readers. One of the things that we did just recently is we had a Latino listening session in Littleton. So La Ciudad is very much based in Commerce City, because Commerce City, most polluted zip code in the United States, more than half of the population is Latino, and I think a third, Rafael and Luz are both here from Adams 14. Essentially, I think more than a third only speak Spanish. And so we want to make sure that we are serving that community first, but we know that there are Spanish-speaking folks across the metro area that also deserve this news. And so we listen to them. We wanted to hear what they say. We wanted to make sure that we were doing what they wanted to do. And Voter Voices is helpful with that and everything that we're doing. So that's a real big part of where we are. It's something that we want to embrace all the work that we can do for every community. And we want to make sure that we're just continuing to speed forward in our journalism. Thank you.